Hey friend, I'm just sitting here thinking about you today. It's that time of year when our kids, who aren't really kids anymore, they're adults, are on the brink of leaving. Maybe it's graduation and they're getting ready for college in the fall. Maybe they're leaving for a summer job for the first time and they're not going to be around before they leave for college. Maybe it's even marriage and they're moving. It's a deep breath kind of moment. I want you to sit back and just take a breath for a moment. I still have these deep breath moments every time I have to say goodbye to my kids. There are 3 truths that I've learned from each of my daughters leaving our house that I know will help you. The first one, and the most important I think, but also sometimes the hardest one, is that our kids have never been our own. They've always been God's. I've learned this several times over their childhood and into their adulthood. I think the first time I really realized it was when my oldest got her driver's license and was taking her sisters to school, and I literally had to fall on my knees before God and open up my hands and say, Lord, they're yours. They're not mine. Please, please, Lord, protect them. I have to let them go, and I have to trust that God has them wherever they're going, whatever they're doing, wherever they're living. He has them because they're His. The second thing that I learned came a little later when my second daughter got married, and it was a whole different situation. Again, different child, different feelings, different things that happened. With this one, the truth that I learned is sometimes you don't know if they're going to ever get in touch with you again as you let go. If they have an independent spirit and you know that, you don't know what the communication is going to be like. Is it going to be the same as the first one? Are you ever going to have a relationship with them as they walk away again? I literally, with this girl, when she was at college, we would hear from her every so often. She would check in and things like that. But I just didn't know. Would I hear from her this week? Would I not hear from her this week? I would call every so often if I haven't heard from her, and it would be okay. But she just wanted to do her thing, and that was okay. So when she got married and moved to Ohio, I was wondering, as she walked down that aisle and out that door with that man, what kind of relationship would I have with this daughter now that she was out on her own? A place where I feel like she has kind of always wanted to be, which is a good thing, but a hard thing for a mom to deal with. But then, when they got back from their honeymoon, they had asked us if we would meet them and help them with their home. And I thought, she's going to have everything done before I get there. We're going to say hi. We're going to take her other sister to college, which is right down the road, which I was very thankful for. But we're not going to have much to do. I feel like she's going to want to do this on her own. But I was pleasantly surprised and very, very thankful. But it was just very surreal when we walked in, and I walked into a kitchen that was a mess, and a daughter that kind of was too. I remember her looking at me and going, Mom, can you please help me? Can you please help me set up my kitchen? It turned into a fun thing for us to do together. And then that weekend it was very different because every time she was around me, she would just touch me. She kept holding my hand, or she would touch my shoulder, or she would want to sit close. And I noticed she was doing this with our dad too. She would walk with her husband when we were out, but then she'd come right back and she'd either sidle next to her dad or sidle next to her mom. And I asked her later, and I said, do you realize that you did this? She's like, no, I didn't. But you know what? I think I realized during that time that this was for real, and that it was the ending and the beginning of something, and it kind of made me sad and want to be near you guys because I was going to miss that. So hard for this mom's heart. At the same time, I was so glad because, in that moment, I knew it was going to be okay. I knew that we would still communicate. It would still have to be on her terms sometimes. She's very independent. She's very quiet. She likes to deal with things on her own, but she still calls her mom. But the truth that I learned is, you don't know. You don't know what it's going to be like when they leave, and you have to accept and cling to the good moments and understand it's a blessing from each of those children. And you have to trust that God's going to grow that relationship no matter the child's personality and yours. Hang in there, Mama. The third and final one is unforeseen circumstances are just that, unforeseen. Hard, but usually we can make the most of them. Our youngest daughter had made her plans for the summer of 2020, just like everyone else. She wanted to change jobs. Normally, she would be working at a summer camp about 9 hours from us. I was really glad when she said she wanted to work on campus, which was only 5 hours away, so I might see her more that summer versus what I had seen in the past. She applied, she got rejected for one part of it, she got hired for another part, but guess what? Just like the rest of us, 2020 was not what we expected. And for the first summer in 3 years, Jenna headed home for the summer. My youngest and I, we love each other. I love my daughter, but she'll admit to you too, our personalities kind of do this a little bit. And we were a little nervous about spending the summer together until I realized, you know what? She's probably getting married in about 2 summers, and I know she's going to apply for this job next year. This literally will be the longest time that she'll be home before she gets married. And that changed everything for me. I wanted to make it the best ever. I knew it was hard for her because even at home, she couldn't get a job. She did little things here and there for people, but there just were no summer jobs available that year, and that was really tough on her. She's one that wants to keep busy and keep doing things and to contribute and all of those things, and she had to have some money for expenses for college, and it just wasn't going to be. But you know what? The time that I spent with her, we had an amazing summer together. We took those unforeseen circumstances and made them the best ever. I will cherish that time because I know I already had to say goodbye to her for this year. I know that she'll be home for a short amount of time at Christmas break. She'll be home maybe for spring break. We'll see. And then she's home for a month and married. And then she moves to Ohio. So that's what it is, folks. Unforeseen circumstances are unforeseen, but you can make the most of them. So just to recap, the 3 truths that I've learned as I've said goodbye or almost said goodbye to my children are this: they're God's, they're not mine. The second one is sometimes you don't know if they'll stay in touch, but you can trust that God will help that relationship and help to grow it, and they will reach out eventually. And the third one is unforeseen circumstances are just that, unforeseen, but you can make the most of them. Thanks for watching this video. Community is so important. Please add your comments below with additional advice. It's important that all of us know that we're not alone in how we're feeling during this transition time and that we can walk together through it. I'll see you next time, friends.